All right, so let's go on. The number of daylight in a day is modeled by that function. March 21st is the day of the spring equinox. Find the number of on that day. So if I plug in T is 80, T minus 80 is 0, right? Yeah. 0 times 2 pi over 365 is 0. So what's sine of 0? Yeah. So if I think about the unit circle, let me draw a picture right quick. Yeah. So unit circle, if I go 0 degrees, right there at 1 and 0, and sine is the y coordinate, right? So sine of 0. I didn't want to say that I wanted to 0. Sine of 0 is 0. So going back to my problem. So this sine part is all 0. 0 times 8.3 is 0. So h is okay, on June 21st, if I plug in 172, so 172 minus 80 is 92. Is that right? Okay. And then divided by 365 and times 2 times pi. All right, so that's what's inside the sign there. And then we need to make sure that our calculator is in degrees or radians. Radians, because of the 2 pi that kind of throws, that clues you in. So I change to radians, hit sign, and then I hit times 8.3, and then plus 13. It's there in the problem. Look at the formula. Right there. 8.3. 21.3. It wants one decimal place on. Boom. Could you have guessed that without like actually doing all that?
Yeah.
Because it says it's the summer solstice. What does solstice mean? You know, you learn that growing up. First one was the equinox. Did you know what that meant? Yeah, the solstices are the longest and the shortest day of the year. The equinox are when you're like straight up, so it's the 2 middle length days. So sure enough, for the equinox, we just got the 13 out front. For the summer, so the long solstice, we got the 13 plus the 8.3. And then for the short solstice, which is in the winter, we're just going to get 13 minus 8.3. So it's going to be like 4.7 hours. Which seems like a miserable place to, yeah, that's the number of hours of daylight you have. Which means they're really far north. I knew someone, or actually it's a friend of a friend, that was a professor in Anchorage. And his wife during the winter would have to like move down to the with her family in the lower part of the States because she could not handle the 23-hour nights. I mean, it just drove her crazy. So, yeah, like in Alaska, in the winter, nights are 23 hours long, and then In the summer, the days are 23 hours long. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I mean, it's pretty intense. All right, let's do another one. People who have biorhythms claim there are 3 cycles that rule our behavior: physical, emotional, and mental. Each is a sign function of a certain period. The function for our emotional fluctuations is that. T is in days starting at birth. Emotional fluctuations are measured. Okay. Find E for 63, 72, 81, 90, and 99 days. Okay. All you're going to do is just plug those numbers all in for T. 63 over 18 would be 7 over 2 if you reduced it. So 7 over 2, let's get our unit circle back. So the same thing, if I look at sine, bless you. If I go sine of n times pi, where n's like 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, that's always going to be 0, because like there's 0 pi, 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. You always wind up with y coordinate 0, right? On the other hand, if I look at the half integers, n pi over 2, well, pi over 2 is positive, 3 pi over 2 is negative, 5 pi over 2 is positive, 7 is negative. So this is plus or minus 1, depending on, well, the math word for it is mod 4. But what that means is you get plus 1 if you get a remainder of 1 when you divide by 4. And you get minus 1 if the remainder is 3. Or another way to say that would be, if the n is 1 more than a multiple of 4, you get 1. If it's 1 less than a multiple of 4, you get minus 1. So going back to our problem, we had 7 pi over 2, which is 1 less than a multiple of 4. So we're going to get minus 1 for sine. Are you done right? Okay. So if I put in 63, 63 over 18 is 7 over 2, which is 7's 1 less than a multiple of 4. So you're going to get -1. So apparently people feel down when they're 63 days old. For 72, 72 over 18 is 8 over 2, which is 4, right? 4 came out even. So sine of something that comes out even is 0. Uh, 81, 81 over 18 is 9 over 2. That's 1 more than a multiple of 4. So you get 1. So people are happy when they're 81 days old. At 90, 90 over 18 is 5, which comes out even, so sine of something even is 0. How many times have you sang that song in this class? 99, we're back up to 11 over 2. 11 is 1 less than a multiple of 4, so it's -1. So what do you observe? Our emotions cycle between -1 and 1. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. I'll let you answer this part. What's the period of the cycle? So period means when it starts repeating. So it's 4 days? Yeah, the first time it repeated where we were, at 63 it was -1, and at 99 we were at -1 again. So how far is it from 63 to 99? Close. What is 99 minus 63? Let's try 36. I thought you had subtraction down by now, Angel. I even asked you, I said, what is 99 minus 63? I could tell you weren't really paying attention so much. Yeah. So, like most of our cycles, it's about a month. Let's go ahead and pause our recording and start it again.